I'm Gab McRoberts, and today I'm joined by Michael Smith. We're here to talk about where you can go and find the service lines where they're coming into your house. Now, Michael, I'm kind of new to this plumbing bit. I don't know everything, so I figured this is a good opportunity where you can kind of teach me a little bit of the tools of the trade, if you will, on how we can identify some of the service lines. Now, what are some of the tools that a homeowner would need when they want to go check their lines?
Well, first tool is going to always have a flashlight handy. Second one, if it's going to be a metal type of pipe, should have some type of screwdriver or something to scratch the metal pipe. And also for metal, you should also have a magnet handy to check the pipe.
Like a pretty good strong magnet.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to start out. Now, there's typically 3 types of homes where people would have service lines coming in. So we're starting out down here in a basement. Not too many basements in Fayetteville. I had a hard time finding a house where we could have a basement in. But why don't we talk about where we can find the service line coming into the house of a basement?
Well, most of the time you'll find an on and off cut switch somewhere in the basement. Also, most of the time it might be around the water heater system, but that's the areas you would want to look into where it actually comes into the home from outside from the actual water service.
Okay, so we can see that we have access here. We got a valve where you can kind of like the one you have on your garden, where you can rotate it, close that valve. And is it also the kind with the lever style?
Yes, it is.
That's another one you can find too. Yes. So those are the 2 different types of valves you can see. So let's start what we're seeing here. So we have 5 different types of pipes, or piping material used in plumbing in our community. So the first we have is something like this, PVC pipe. That's what you'll usually find maybe underneath your sink going through your house.
That's correct.
And then next is another piece of plastic, black plastic. What type of plumbing material is this?
This right here would be considered polyethylene, which does come in different colors, black, red, white, and also blue.
Gotcha. I know there's a lot of different colors that come in. So another one that I imagine you guys see a lot of in our community is something like this. What do we have here?
That right here is copper pipe.
Now, how can you tell looking at this is copper pipe? What should a homeowner be looking for?
First off, you can tell by the color. Secondly, you can also scratch it. If the material is a little bit of green, once you scratch it, you'll see a bright color of metal. And then the second thing, magnet will not stick to a copper pipe.
And I can see where you scratch it, it kind of looks shiny like a penny as well. So that's kind of a good. And I've seen a few copper pipes where it's that green corrosion spots. And so I know the next one we have in our inventory is brass. This is something that you might see in some places, not too many. It's not used that often. Tell me about how can you tell brass?
And most of the time brass you'll see with threaded. Most of the time brass on a home will be actually at the connection points or at 90s or to connect the piece of pipe to another piece of plumbing. But it also will have almost the same color as copper, just a little bit more of a dull shine.
Yeah.
As well, brass, the magnet will not stick to that material either.
Yeah, and you know what I'm seeing different between copper and brass is the brass has those threaded fittings. But I think I've seen on copper it's usually soldered, right?
The older homes will have solder, but the newer homes, most of the time that are still using copper, they will actually have brass fittings too.
Okay, so they'll have brass fittings connected to the copper?
Yes, that is correct.
Alrighty, and so the next thing that we have in our inventory is a piece of galvanized steel, galvanized iron. So tell me a little bit about what you can see here.
Well, galvanized is going to be a metal material. In the case of this one, what you see is this is a whole bunch of corrosion, tuberculation. These are just ground soil conditions actually affect the pipe. Here you can scratch and you can tell that it's a metal. The magnet will stick to the galvanized steel or the galvanized iron pipe.
And I think out of all of our inventory, that's the one piece of material that a magnet will stick onto is galvanized steel.
That is correct.
All right, so we'll take to our next thing. I think this is what a lot of people are concerned about, and this is why we're asking people to go into their homes and to look. Something like that. Now this is a hunk of lead. This is a lead gooseneck.
That is correct.
That got taken out. So tell me how a person can tell the difference between lead and steel.
The lead is also, you can scratch it, and you might get kind of a shiny.
Yeah, I think I got a nice shiny bit right there. Yeah.
And the one thing with lead is a magnet will not stick to lead as well.
Gotcha. Nice silver metal color, but it won't stick to it. So that's an easy way. And I also understand sometimes with the lead pipes, you might get a bulge where it connects in to the home's plumbing system. So, all right. So we got our checklist. We know we are looking for, is it metal? That's the first thing we're going to ask. Now, in the basement here, we have a cutout. We can see the valve that's used to close the house. We can see the white plumbing, but I know there's a little bit more that you need to be doing beyond just looking at it from a distance. I know you kind of want to take a look inside as well.
That is correct. Right here where you can see the wheel valve for the on and off cutoff switch, You also want to see if you can look up on the material going up or down that comes into the actual foundation, just to make sure the piping is still PVC. Sometimes the material might change a few feet before the on and off switch. The reason is when the plumbers connect, they actually have to cut in and get everything spliced together. As you can see right here, this is the actual old plumbing. At one time was PVC as well. And then when they did the new cutoff switch, they actually plugged it when they removed it from the system. And
from what I understand, the information that we're needing to capture for EPA guidelines is the information about the service lines actually connect to the house, to the water meter out in the street. Not so much the plumbing that's up in the house, but what's leading to outside.
The main water source that's coming into the house before it splits off. Yes, that is correct.
Mm-hmm. And I think one other thing that you can do, because if you're someone like me, maybe you're not 100% sure, take a picture while you're checking out your pipe. So you can take a picture of your pipe and through the online form where you can submit that information as part of Operation Clean and Clear, there is an option where you can upload photos. So if you're not sure, please provide those pictures. There's experts that will be able to take a look and really conclusively help determine what type of pipes you have within your property.
That's correct.
So, all right, so we've taken a look here. So we got white pipes. We know this place is plastic. Why don't we talk about where we're gonna go next? So next is gonna be House with the Slab Foundation. Why don't we come take a look?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, Michael, so we're here at a Slab Foundation house, and I know that's the second type of home that we have in our community. So for a person who's needing to identify their service line materials, where can they look when they come to a Slab Foundation?
Most Slab Foundations, the on and off switch will be most of the time in the garage. Also, it might be around the water heater system. And then certain circumstances, you might actually find it in a closet in the house.
And that's a situation like what we find here in this particular house. We're in the closet. Let's go take a look.
Gavin, with this house, the on and off switch is in the closet, and this is very easy to look at. You can tell that the main water line coming in the home right here is going to be a blue plastic material, so this house is good to go.
All right, and this is that type of shutoff valve we talked about earlier. This style is a lever style instead of the wheel style. So
yes, that is correct. You just cut the water off, you'd go one way, then you actually go back, set it back on.
All right, I think this is an easy one. Thanks again.
Thank you, Gavin.
All right, so we know that we got blue plastic, so this house is really easy. Didn't have to do the scratch test or the magnet test, so it was a pretty easy identification. So I'm gonna go, I got a friend of mine who actually received one of the yellow envelopes asking for them to check their house, and he has a crawl space. So I got my safety equipment, because I'm a bit of a klutz. I got the scars on my forehead to prove it, so making sure I'm good to go for going underneath the house. I got all my tools. You got me trained up on what to look for. I'll let you know what I find.
Well, thank you, sir.
All right, thanks. Hey, OG, thank you so much for inviting me over here. Hey. So what we're gonna be doing here today is, now you're one of the homeowners that received a notification letter talking about, we're asking homeowners to check underneath their homes for what type of piping material. So you're one of the homeowners that got one of those letters, right?
Yes, yes.
So we're gonna, I brought my PwC required personal protective equipment for going underneath your house. All employees are required to have it, but we're gonna take a look and see if we can identify those pipes. So first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna take a look at your house, and right now we're starting out at your water meter. Okay. So I'm guessing it's gonna be the closest point to your house, yes, to the water meter. So it looks like it's probably gonna be right where your water spigot is over in that area. Yes. So we'll take a look. Why don't you go show me where your crawl space is?
All right.
All right, so I see you got your crawl space here right by the spigot like we talked about. Why don't we take a look and see what we see?
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna take a look under here, and well, this is gonna be easy because I can actually see your pipe right here from your crawl space. We're not even gonna have to go underneath the house to take a look. So
well, that's good.
Yeah, so let me show you what I'm seeing here. Now you see, you got that pipe coming up out of the ground. It's closest to the house like we talked about, near where your water meter is, and it comes right on up and connects in with the rest of your plumbing. Okay. Now looking at it, I can see it's a yellowish dark brown color, and then I can see green corrosion.
Right.
In addition, if you look where it connects in the pipes in the elbow joint, it's a soldered connection. Okay. So when you get that self-verification letter in, just go online, let them know that you got copper pipes.
Copper pipes, okay.
All right, thanks so much, I appreciate it.
Thank you.